Welcome to In My Opinion, where we dive deep into debatable topics and explore, well, our opinions. Buckle up for some thought-provoking fun. Today here I'm Mike, of course, you know. Today here we have Brittany, KTM, and Landon. Thanks for
Yo,
being here, guys. And today we're going to be discussing if you were a game dev, what would you create? Like, honestly, like what would you create? Because I have a profound love for video games since I was a kid. Like, from the first Mario Kart to playing Perfect Dark into just all the wonderful freaking shooters. Like,
remember we used to know life like Age of Empires and Age of Mythology and shit?
yeah, like into the PC age, right? Like, it's crazy to see how things developed over time, but I feel like game devs are holding back because you may say when they create a game we don't have the technology, but I could argue a fact. Like, I was talking to somebody at work the other day, and they're like, "Yeah, they don't have a game with freaking progressive freaking skill learning, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they do." He's like, "Well, what game?" I said, "Well, Minecraft." He said, "Well, modded Minecraft." I said, "Exactly. If these little independent freaking little script writers can make these random things, why can't these big name game devs make this happen, right?" Well, let's just jump into the subject. If I were a game dev and I were to create a game, it would be so realistic, right? Like, hyper realistic. I want a game where I can literally go and say, because I loved The Sims, I loved Grand Theft Auto, I love City Skylines, but I can't play all three at the same time. So what if I combine all of those, right? Where, say you get construction simulator and you combine all the simulators into a hyper realistic fucking just lifestyle type game. Like, doesn't even have to be like Grand Theft Auto, right? You don't even have to like have the ability to fucking kill somebody, right? It could just be like a hyper realistic construction simulator with fucking life simulator, right? So you build a store, but you have to build it using the functions of construction simulator, but then you can run the store through like a, say, you know, like that retail simulator, you know, you can freaking build the shelves, fill it full of goods, you know. And then you have the Sims aspect of it, right? There's a freaking community that lives there. They have their houses. Like, the more houses you build in this community, and you just build it up, kind of like City Skylines, right? You build this town, you build the roads, you build everything up, and eventually you have this hyper realistic fucking town that you built with your friends, right? Yeah, the multiplayer aspect wouldn't be like a super online thing, right? But you can bring your friends in and you can build in your own thing, kind of like Minecraft, right? You have your own world and you can bring your friends into your world and you can all build this freaking badass freaking city, right? In your own image. And the AI and the NPCs, they can run through and live in it, you know? Fix traffic problems, build schools, whatever it is that you need to do to build your town, build your community with progression, right? Like, okay, you have to have a school to progress the education, to progress research, right? So you research things kind of like in any video game, really. You have to research different things, but you have to have certain things to do it. You know, you unlock buildings, you know. And people would say, well, how would you pay for this? How would you pay for the development of this? Well, what you would do is you would pay for building plans. Like, okay, you see this badass skyscraper, kind of like in Fallout 76, right? You want this really cool shit, but you don't have the plan for it, but you can pay X amount for this object you can have in your house, right? But say you want freaking these badass plans to build fucking skyscrapers, or a new plan to build say you want to build the projects, like some apartment buildings that look like the freaking projects. And I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like something like that would be just so much fun to just dig into, and there would be so many hours fun for anybody, right? Really, anybody. Mechanics, right? You can build cars that drive on the road, right? Like take and customize any car in the game, but you have to have a mechanics garage. So you have to take the construction simulator portion of it, build the mechanics garage, and maybe that's all you want to do is just freaking fix up cars. But in order to get more people, more cars to fix up and pimp out, you have to build houses, people have to move in, and then they buy cars. But they can't buy a car with unless you build a car dealership. And then all of this runs into it and it just creates this badass community, and I think that would just be so much fun.
What you're talking about sounds like a really big civilization type of game, but like more so, right? Kind of what you're explaining. More details and more customization and everything, right?
Yeah, but I don't want it to be top down. I want to be there. I want to be in it.
Oh, you want to be like first person?
I want first person. I want to be in there. I want to be in the construction simulator. Remember when we played the construction simulator? First person, you're driving all the equipment, you're building this thing.
Yeah, I get it. So it's like Sims, but you're adding all of the aspects of like maybe farming simulator and construction simulator and all those things in there at the same time, right?
Yeah,
But you're living in it, like you're living in the world, essentially, right?
absolutely.
Well, and he also wants the GTA aspect. So, like, if I want to form a trap house, I have the right to do so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that sounds awesome, and that's pretty close to my idea of a game. But add, like the online multiplayer to that. I want to play The Sims with other people. Like I like that. I think that's great. But like yeah, I want to be able to play it with friends cuz like right now you can't play The Sims with anyone unless you like have you both have modded versions of it and it's restrictive. You can only be in the same house and blah. It's very, you know, very specific. So like I think an open world simulator game that has multiplayer like that, like maybe with plans and building, and I don't know exactly how that would work like in a world because you'd have to have some form of claiming system, but I think that would be really cool too. Maybe like you guys could have different businesses that you run or different plots and areas that you take care of. Like you could have your businesses in your neighborhood or whatever, but then like I could be over on the side building a bakery or what, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. A library.
Maybe it'll be
But
the government. You get permits
yeah, that would be cool.
or
I'd
deeds or
just be
whatever.
there. I would live in that game. I would absolutely live in that game.
Well, and I
And if
think
we could
if
all
you
play
allowed,
together, that'd be sick.
yeah, if you allowed mods into it, allowing people to add their own like stuff rather than
Yeah,
having to purchase it on,
stuff.
a
That would
site or
be cool.
whatever.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Like, I want it to be extremely moddable because a lot of these things that these big game devs do or add, a modder, an independent modder made these things for the game. People, the community, it is what builds these games, which is where the idea comes from. Where what if they actually built the game, right? Guy builds a strip club. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
like,
But you gotta let them do that, right?
but yeah, they have the freedom to do that. Is what I'm saying. They can do what they want, build what they want, but they
I
have
like
to
that.
progress through the game to unlock these different plans to do different things.
So maybe there'd be like missions and stuff along the way, right?
Well, missions put a restriction on it. If you just say, here's a tutorial, this is how you do it, you know,
Well, my
Yeah, what if I
question
want to
is
get addicted to crack in Michael's game?
if you wanted to get to crack, you would have to go through the progression to get addicted to crack.
Yeah, that sounds
but
good, man. Right behind the
but
Wendy's.
Yeah, but you have to build that Wendy's to find that crack behind that Wendy's. You know what I mean? Like if the things aren't there, you won't be able to do it. So the game forces you to build and progress in any way you want, in any direction you want. It's omnidirectional. No matter which direction you want to go, you can do it, but you have to build the prerequisites for it to happen. Like you can't have a skyscraper unless you do this first.
that's what my question was: is how do you get the plans to do those things? How would you? Do you have to like go to school in the game?
Yeah, if you
You
needed to,
know?
if you needed to go to school for it, I mean, yeah, go to school for it. I wouldn't make it so you have to sit in the fucking classroom and go through fucking bullshit.
No, but
But if
you
that's what
could,
people want, if that's what people wanted, that would be a community vote. That'd be like, hey,
like
and then what would
Force
happen?
people to attend the lecture.
Yeah, you would
Right.
pull up freaking lectures for whatever subject from the internet, right? And you put those lectures in the game, so they're sitting in a classroom watching these lectures that are on the internet, and then the lectures are linked to a progression in the game. Okay, they listened to this lecture. Now they're able to use this plan. But like there's so much you can do with a game like that. Yeah, it would take forever to develop it, but it's a game with endless possibilities and endless updates.
Yeah, you could be putting stuff in it, and then if you open that up to modding and custom content from the people who are playing the game themselves, people who like to make things themselves or whatever, like
Yep.
that would be really cool.
And what you do is to take the pressure off the game devs to release these updates is when you open it up to modding, what you do is you let these modders sell these mods in your game. You let them sell these mods in your game, but you take a percentage of their sales. Kind of like what Twitch does when people pay for a subscription. So these people are buying these mods from these people and say we take 30%, right? These modders are getting the rest. That's their money. But we get the 30% to continue developing the game in our direction.
It would be insane. Like the main people who developed the game would be making hella money, and then if people wanted stuff in the game, they'd be making money too. So that would be insane. People would be all over that. I can make actual money selling content in a game that I made myself. That'd be really cool.
And just imagine if you wanted to create your own Jurassic Park.
Or like custom stuff that you can put in your building, like your house or your building or whatever. Like that would be really cool.
And to answer your question to the MMO aspect of it, there would have to be a lobby system, right? There's no possible way to create an MMO of such a free game that you would actually have to open up, say, a portal or a door, a public portal. You can either make your world public or private, but you can open up a public world and people can enter your world, say, like a server. But there wouldn't be a charge for the server. So the servers would have to be massive. There would have to be a massive server database.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where one of the problems that it would have is the amount of size that it would need for all of the custom stuff. Because like when you're playing like The Sims and it's a whole game.
But that's what I'm saying is it would be a demand on the player PC, because the way it would work is the game would turn the player's PC into the server. All that data, the only data that would be coming from the game would be the portal to your server. Yeah, we'd have fail-safes so people can't just hack into your PC. We'd insert our own security into that data. But at the end of the day, we would put most of the server demand on the player, unfortunately, So no potato PCs, unfortunately, but it's such a massive game that, I mean...
But here's my question. If someone with another PC that maybe wasn't the best, they joined on a server that was hosting it, it would probably be okay, right?
Yeah, it would probably be okay, but their world would be kind of fucked.
I mean, yeah, it probably wouldn't be very pretty for them, but they could hop into someone else's world or whatever.
It would work basically the same way as Minecraft. When you create a Minecraft world, all of that is on your end, opposed to, say, paying for like a server. If you pay for a server, all that stuff you put into that server goes onto their equipment, their fucking database. But if you open up Minecraft and you're playing solo, everything you build is right there on your drive, right there. And that's the same thing. That's what literally Minecraft already has that technology going for them. It's for the mobile version, the Microsoft version. So when you pay for one of their little Microsoft servers, it's literally on your computer until you fucking delete it. So basically they duplicate it. So if you switch PCs, I wouldn't make it so people could have duplication, because the server load would be too much to have duplicates. So if their PC just blows up, their world is lost, unfortunately.
All right.
I would run it. I would not do it to where servers are client side because that's just asking for a lot of trouble. You need some sort of dedicated servers, and that they can be servers that they pay for themselves,
But that's what I'm
like
saying. Like
you would
dedicated
like a
servers. I want this game to be as free as possible, so that it would
yeah,
bring in
but
that player base.
then you will have to cover the server costs because people running that on their computer will not work out. There's a reason. And with Realms, they don't run the server on your end. They run it on their end on their own dedicated servers on like Bedrock.
So like what you're saying and what I'm saying are basically the same thing, except for right off the gate, right when you release it, it can't be like that. It would have to be client side until more money got generated because it would be such an expensive game to create in general. But
Yes, but
over time, you
there's
would
a
put more money into these servers.
well with like the cloud, there's scalability with like I don't know AWS or Microsoft Azure. Uh, there's scalability. So like if you have 10 people playing, it'll only allow you to have a server for like 10 people, as opposed to and it will automatically scale up the more people you get, as opposed to just paying for a set amount. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're
Like
saying.
so that's the best way to do it, honestly. And a lot of people don't do that, even game developers now, but it's probably and arguably the best way to do
So,
it.
would you guys play my video game?
Yeah.
As long as I get my crack.
You could
I
have
would.
anything you want. You would? Nice. What would you do?
feel
What
like
would
it'd
you
be
do in my
very-
video game, KTM? What would you do in there?
See, I don't know. That sounded. The thing about your video game is it sounded like really, like confusing. You know what I'm saying?
What was
To do,
confusing
like-
about it?
Well, like anything you have to do, you have to build it and go through all this shit and all the settings that you'd have to like, or
Okay,
requirements to do
So,
certain
so
things.
I'll break it down to you real quick. So, say you're a baby. You're learning how to walk. What steps do you have to take to learn how to walk in order to progress in life?
Right and left.
You would have
What?
to learn how to stand first, right?
Oh,
So that's
How
the
would you
basic
how would you
progression.
start though? Is the thing. Like will it be like a survival based game, like where you have to like go chop down trees and all that kind
yeah,
of
like
stuff,
you
or
just spawn
do you
in.
start with a set amount of resources?
You would probably start with a set amount of resources and progress from there. You know, a house. There would be a business. You know, small things that you could use to start your progression tree. A seed.
Would it be like a money system where you have to earn the money to pay for those things that you have or that you're going to get to build or whatever?
Well, absolutely. Like with any game, there would have to be some sort of base economy.
Just start them out in the Stone Age, man. They can work their way up.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty neat. I mean, there's so many endless possibilities to a game like that. I feel that it would appeal to anybody.
Well, and you can. Wow, huge brain fart just now. So forget it. I'm not gonna be able to say what I was just gonna say.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept and I think it could be great. It's just no one's done that yet. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a good thing though. But it's like my game for this was not as detailed as yours, but it was really just like playing The Sims but like having more to it. You know what I mean? So essentially it's pretty similar. And having multiplayer, being able to play with people, because that's what I like to do. I like to play games with other people, not entirely by myself all the time. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot for that. Not as detailed as you did.
Until he's been thinking about it a while.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love video games, and I've been playing video games for a very long time. And to see all these games come out and them not actually put their heads together and create something absolutely astounding just kills me. It kills me inside and makes me lose fucking absolute belief in the gaming industry. You know, all they're pushing out is trash these days. Just complete and total garbage. Oh, one guy's failing, we're going to pick it up and we're going to create the exact same game, but we're going to implement something that we think should have been added. Why don't you just put your heads together with that dev and be like, hey, you're struggling, but I have this great idea, but I want cut in on it, right? Why don't they just work together to create something beautiful rather than trying to kick each other in the sack all day?
Because
Money.
it's about money. Money, 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 money.
But they would make more money if they would work together.
That's not beneficial to them to have friends.
It could be if they would actually use a freaking working business model.
I suppose. But that's just how it is. That's how those companies are.
All right, let's move on to Landon here. Landon, what video game would you create?
Sorry, took a hit off of my douche stick. All right. So a game that I would create. I've always thought about it. There's not enough like. Wow, dude, I'm brain farting today. There's not enough setting in like the Ice Age. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there was like Far Cry Primal, and I can't even think of another game that was set in that time. But an idea I liked that I thought about was just a survival type game where you kind of start off just as a human in a really crappy village out in the middle of the Ice Age, and you can branch out and meet new groups of people, and you just have to survive the Ice Age. You hunt down mammoths and get eaten by saber-toothed tigers and fight to survive the cold. I haven't really refined it as much as Michael has, but mine's just a basic idea. I know I had some more on it, but I cannot remember it right now.
So
I feel
My
like
brain is
all
my
our
brain no work today.
are not as elaborate as Mike's.
No, we're fine.
Mine was I actually had like a Google Sheet type thing, or it wasn't a Google, it was just a doc, but I had it and I was writing my ideas for it. But
so while you're
I think it's
surviving the Ice
on my
Age,
other
would you be
computer.
able to progress, right? Like say, okay, so I'm now surviving the Ice Age. I've found me a mate. Now I've had me a child. Now I'm building something, right? And you're surviving the Ice Age, and you build this utopia. Would you consider that some sort of progression in the game? Because just surviving the Ice Age, like that's what bores me about these survival games, is you're just surviving. There's no real progression after you're just surviving. Like, say, what is that stupid zombie game we were playing? That freaking 2D freaking top down.
It was
I thought
fun.
you were talking
Project
about
Zomboid.
Yeah, Project Zomboid. Like, yeah, you can build stuff, but aside from surviving, what are you actually doing?
Yeah, there's
Well,
a big goal in the game, and
I another idea I did have at it is allowing kind of a generational type thing, kind of like how they did with the Ancestors, Humankind, I think it's called. You know what that is, right, Michael?
Yeah.
Where they start out as monkeys and they work their way up and try to become humans. And so for that way, you can build up your town, have your own generations, and then they continue to build upon the town itself. And slowly, I mean, there might have to be an end at some point. Maybe I don't know, maybe add an RPG type element to it, where there's questing and specific things you need to do to like beat a resource tier or uh, be able to build specific things. Dude, I am brain farting, dude. I cannot think. Rough.
But yeah, it sounds like a great game,
But-
but it sounds like there would end up being an end there, a roadblock. Yeah, all games end because like games that have an infinite story, like that stupid anime One Piece. It just needs to end. Like at a certain point, you're just doing the same stupid shit over and over and over again. I agree that any good story needs an end. So the lore behind it, like games with lore, I love them. I love games with lore, but I feel like they do need to end. But then, what do I move on to?
right. Right.
Well, another aspect of it is it kind of brings in that open endability of like Minecraft. You know what I mean? You can continue to build up your village, continue to attract more people to your village so you can survive together. And it can possibly be multiplayer. It could possibly just be single player. I don't really have a preference as far as that goes.
That makes sense. I mean,
But
it's another.
I don't know. I think multiplayer would be kind of fun. All worry about getting eaten by a saber tooth or cave bear or whatever. Hunt down a mammoth together. That'd be sick.
That would be
That,
fun.
that would be a lot of fun. I agree.
Definitely.
But yeah, I certainly have not thought about mine as much as Michael has. I did have a doc on it, man. I wish I could find it. I think it's on my other computer. Just something I've been thinking about a long time.
Would there be like vehicles and stuff in there that you could like create an event or whatever?
Uh, Probably not. I'd actually prefer to keep it more, Stone Age type based.
Interesting.
They didn't really have a whole lot. They had maybe sleds.
Yeah.
They
Maybe
didn't.
you could like get a
I don't even
tiger.
think they got horses yet.
Caveman stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't even think they had horses back then. Yeah, but yeah, it's caveman stuff, man.
Yeah.
Bashing in heads with rocks.
Would you open it up to, say, modding?
Uh, Probably because honestly, I don't know. It's kind of a harder thing because it is such a basic idea that people are going to add just crazy arbitrary things that don't make any sense for the era that it's in. But modders are better at improving a game than developers are just because it's crowdsourced information.
And then,
Things we don't even think about.
and then would it be a one-time pay game, so you buy the game and you own the game, right? Or would you continuously develop it through microtransactions?
No, microtransactions are garbage. And so it'd just be a one-time thing. Like you buy it and you have it forever. Kind of like the No Man's Sky thing. You get it, and every single update is free, no matter what.
But how would you pay your team though? Like, how would you generate an income from this after the game has hit a certain point? People pretty much stop buying it, right? Because another newer, better game comes out. So there would have to be something that would generate the small amount of income, whether it be cosmetics or something like that. Kind of like what I said with my game. Pay people buy from the modders to support the devs to continue the growth of the game. I
Well,
firmly believe in microtransactions.
there will be an inevitable end to the game, just like all games, But I think that once you stop making money, will be kind of be the end of it. But the idea is, if you continue to develop your game, it will still continue to attract more people. The same thing, with like Minecraft. Minecraft's continuously developed. It has the modders. It continuously attracts people, no matter how old it is.
Because
But
I would like to
Minecraft
compare this
evolving.
to Blizzard and Overwatch 1. They
Oh,
did that same thing. They continued to develop it, but eventually they were not able to pay their staff enough to continue to develop the game because the game pretty much died. So therefore the development of the game stopped. So they're like, okay, we're going to release Overwatch 2, but we're going to add microtransactions so we can continue to develop the game and push forward. Yeah, they went a little crazy with the pricing and a little crazy with everything, because they made it pay to win. Because I don't agree with pay to win microtransactions, but I do agree with microtransactions to continue the development of a game that I love.
Yeah, microtransactions I do not like at all. The only valid ones are cosmetic
yeah, I
solely,
think
and
cosmetics.
even then, I think it's predatory.
Well, it
Yeah.
can be. It can
With
definitely be
with the
predatory.
Fortnite thing, that's super predatory. Dude,
Yeah, the
Fortnite
Fortnite
is
thing is
crazy
absolutely
predatory.
predatory. They just need to kind of tone that shit down a little bit. but they do continue to take that money to develop the game, like the Lego Fortnite. That hit it off huge, but they would not have been able to develop Lego Fortnite without the revenue from these microtransactions from the player base, and the players love
Dude,
it.
Epic Games, every single game that is made, Epic Game makes money basically because of their Unreal Engine. They could have done whatever the fuck they wanted, regardless of whether they had transactions or not.
Very true, but when it comes to things like that, there's so many different working parts and so many different teams, and you got to think how much money they're pouring into the paychecks of all these people working on these projects and how much time it takes to do these things, especially a game or a company as big as Epic, especially like say the free games they give away. They're like, okay, we're going to give away a free game. They still have to pay for these games. They pay for these games, right? They buy out these
Like I said,
companies or
they
whatever.
basically, well, those, like I said, 99% of those games use their engine anyways. They probably get some deal on it, like, oh, we will charge you for the next, you know, 2 years or whatever if we can use your game in this. So it's just, I don't know. It's super complicated. You also don't need to have a staff of 500 people to make a game. You know what I mean? Just, maybe 50 decent people can make a decent game. And it also doesn't need to be the greatest game of all time. It could just be a solid game that is fun to play. You can set it off the side for a little bit and come back to it and later. Like, I don't need the best game ever. It's like Destiny. Love Destiny, but I can stop playing it for a few months and go back to it, and I still fucking love that shit.
It is a fun game.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. Destiny is definitely a fun game. And I am more than willing to spend money on their expansions to support their company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I don't like doing it, but I do.
And we're
I don't
going
like doing that shit at all.
Well, I think like when you think about spending money on video games, you're supporting the people who make the game itself. Like I understand partially why they came up with the transactions to keep their companies alive for longer. Because, like, when you look back at some of the older games that are just solid games, those companies don't exist anymore. So I kind of understand it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, yeah, I agree that, like, sometimes it's too much. Like what Blizzard did. And obviously, they're not doing so hot now. You know what I mean? But, like, I think there's a give or take in certain situations,
Yeah,
you know?
I can always just pull a notch and make a fire ass game and then sell it. I'll be a sellout.
Oh
Fucking do
man,
this.
well that
just
you're
sell
so you're
shit
more
for
of a
millions.
OG dev rather than a new age dev is what you're saying in this situation. Say like freaking Bungie back
Yeah,
in the day, they create a solid game, Halo. We'll talk about Halo for a minute because we know KTM loves it. He's our boy.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll
yeah,
talk
but
about Halo. Like they
well, that's
created a
the games I
solid
grew up
game.
with.
Well, those are games that
Yeah, those are the
succeeded
games I
very
grew up with, the
greatly.
games I played, the games that still have an impact on me as a person. And so, like,
yeah,
those are the games I care about, not the games that are like, you know me, I don't like fucking Fortnite. I don't like Overwatch, and part of it is because of their marketing tactic. Getting people to pay for crap that they don't need at all, and it's annoying. And I wish more games would be, buy our game once. It might have an end, but that's just fine.
but that leaves the door
Look
open
out for
for
our next
sequels,
game.
right? Yeah, for sequels
Yeah,
and more like they used to be. How many Resident Evils are there? You know
way
what I
too
mean?
many.
Right. But they did it and they kept releasing them and people bought them. Like I remember going to the release for Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, I never got into the Resident Evils, but me with my, I don't like scary games, horror games.
But you know like the
Even if
fan
it's
base
even
that
if it's not even that scary, I'm just like, it's creepy enough. Not the biggest fan
does. Yeah,
because I know
I
like
get
some
it.
of them, like Resident Evil 7, was more of an action adventure game than a horror game or whatever. But just the
Yeah,
aspects of it, I'm like, nah, I'm
killing
good.
zombies.
All right, so let's wrap this up. So in a sense, you are wanting to create a solid, real fucking base game, OG, right? Like Halo, release a solid game. You play through it. You freaking have a fantastic freaking time playing it, and maybe open it up for a sequel or don't, or just create something different, right? Is that basically what
Yeah,
you're? All right.
yeah,
So
just
I
a solid game,
say,
and maybe add some procedural generation to add to replayability. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So things aren't the same place every time. It's different every single time you load up a world. Using seeds or whatever.
that sounds fantastic, and I would 100% play it. I mean, for real, I love games like that, and I think it's a solid idea. And I do agree with the one-time buy because I do miss going and waiting for a game release to own the game. Like there is no ownership anymore, unfortunately. But I would love to just own the game and play it and have a good time with it, and not worry about whether or not an update's gonna destroy my game completely and ruin my fucking gameplay experience.
Yeah, you just go OG and give everyone a disc.
Oh my gosh.
There you
They
go.
wouldn't
Have
know what
fun
to do
playing
with
that.
them. They wouldn't know what to do with them. You hand them a disc and they'd be like, "Where do I put this?
All right, now
What is this?"
let's move on to KTM. KTM, if you were a game dev, what game would you create?
What game would I create?
What game would you create? Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go fast because I have to pick up my brother. But I'll be back. But the you played Dying Light. I made you play Dying Light,
Yeah,
and you remember how like that parkour and movement is and everything.
I agree. Yeah.
So I'd take like the parkour and shit from that, you know, and then make like a zombie like survival game, but like an actual survival game, because like the zombie survival games now are lackluster. Like
Like lackluster. How?
It's like DayZ or even earlier.
Oh, he gone. I don't know if he meant to mute himself or not. Let's build on that real quick. So he's explaining because I agree with his view as far as what I picked up from that small little blurb from him. Um, the zombie games are lackluster. Like the survival thing about it is just okay. I've killed 10 million of these freaking zombies. What do I do now? All I'm doing is running around and mindlessly killing. What do I do? Like, what's next?
There needs to be a goal at the end, right?
Not even if there's a
Well, it's kind of
goal.
the point of those games, isn't it, to survive against an endless horde of things that are around you?
Yeah, you get burnt out after a while.
Yeah, you get burnt out of doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. But where's the progression? Like, yeah, there's good zombie games with good stories, right? But at the end of that story, like it's like, okay, cool, you built this camp and you survived. Game over. Restart. Okay, I don't want to restart. I've killed all these things a million times. I like where I'm at. I like what I've built. Kind of like Fallout 76. What if every season they said, "Yep, your whole house, everything you've built, gone. Sorry." Right?
I'd be so
Maybe
mad.
maybe thinking of like survivability, like the forest. Like where you can build up your camp and all that stuff and survive, and then you actually have to go out of it to get things and then survive and then come back and build it up.
That kind of relates to Project Zomboid in a bit, where you have to go and get things to live, or you're literally going to die. You have to get food. You have to have bandages, all that stuff. Like, yeah, you can build something in one spot, but yeah, you're
I liked the original Project Zomboid concept where like you would run out of food in the entire city. Like there in the original Project Zomboid, there never used to be farming. So like you would have to go out, you would have to travel to all these big cities. You would have
you
to
could always
go live.
the nice thing about that game is that you could always live that way. I like the customization in that game, but the mechanics itself are I think what's the struggle. Like if they could make that game, but make it like the quality better or whatever, like make it like Fallout or something. You know what I mean? Like a shooter, it would be so good, you know? Like, yeah, I gotta bandage my arm because I hurt myself. I gotta stop. Oh, I'm sick. I have to go in here and hide. But, like, not the top down mechanics. I don't like those.
No, not at all. I don't like top-down games
I want
like
to be
that all
able
that
to
much.
loot in first person, like in Fallout, but also if it was way more difficult, you know, when you survive and like when you get hurt and all that stuff, you had to like really pay attention to all those things. I think that's the game that I'd want to play with all of the construction aspects and all that stuff in it. And then the food and it would be intense. It would be a lot. And then you have to fight off zombies at the same time and then go loot the buildings and oh man.
All right. Well, KTM's gone. We're gonna jump into some Would You Rather.
Hey guys, Dolly here, and I'm going to talk to you about Candid Computers. Candid Computers is your trusted destination for expert computer repair and top-notch PC building services. At Candid Computers, they understand the frustration of dealing with computer issues, which is why they are dedicated to providing prompt and reliable repairs to get you back up and running in no time. Whether it's a virus, hardware failure, or software glitch, Candid Computers has you covered with efficient solutions tailored to your needs. Plus, if you're in the market for a custom-built PC optimized for your specific requirements, they're here to bring you that vision to life. With a focus on transparency, integrity, and exceptional customer service, Candid Computers is your partner in keeping your technology running smoothly. Trust Candid Computers for all your computer repair and PC building needs, because when it comes to your technology, honesty is their policy. Our PCs at Phantom Rift are from Candid Computers, and yours can be too. Definitely check them out at candidcomputers.net.
All right. So this is for everybody here. We'll even jump into IO here in the chat. We'll go with some listener would you rather's here. But I'm gonna ask this to all who would listen. Would you rather live through the original Ring, or would you rather live through Amityville Horror as the main character?
I don't know.
Well, the dad lived in Amityville Horror, so I'll be that guy.
All right, you'll live through the Amityville Horror. All right.
I see the Ring argument. I just wouldn't watch the tape.
Well,
I'm just saying.
and the thing about the Amityville Horror is because of Indian burial ground, right?
Ugh.
I'm native.
All right,
You
Io
good?
says he would
Oh,
live through
you'd
the
be
Ring.
You'd be safe because you're native.
And
Like,
Io-
oh, sorry, folks.
Io went for the Ring, so I would personally go with Amityville. So we're at a friggin' 50-50 tie here. What about you? What is your would you rather? There, Landon.
Yeah, he said.
All right. So, my would you rather is something I saw it earlier. I think I was watching YouTube or whatever, and it just struck me. Would you rather fight a bear or fight a tiger?
Oh, dude, I would totally fight that bear. You know what I'd do? I'd fucking stand up to that bear. I'd wait till he charged. I'd sidestep that bear. I'd sidestep him. I'd take my knife, jam it into his back, and climb up to his freaking neck with my freaking knife, and I'd cut his throat.
I don't know if I would fight either of them, but I think you could probably get it. I don't even know. Like, I'm not a
Oh, you have to fight one of them. That's
you have
the
to
deal.
fight?
You have to
Yeah,
fight
you
one.
have to fight one of them.
Oh man, probably the bear then. Tigers. I mean, either one could rip me to pieces. So yeah, I don't know.
So
Okay,
the bear,
here's my argument on it.
Would I
Yeah.
have any weapons?
Ooh, see, that's
yeah, you can have a weapon.
No, I mean you're just walking out in the woods. You have whatever you have.
Oh my
What would you
God.
bring?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Oh, I definitely
Okay,
always
let
have
me
my
just
knife.
think still. Yeah.
I'd pick the tiger because a bear will rip you to pieces and not kill you and will still eat you, and they'll just attack you for no reason. But a tiger will attack you only if it's hungry, and it will kill you the second it gets a chance. Like it's gonna kill you before it eats you, and it'll be quick and over like that. So I'd rather get killed by a tiger than mauled and fucking eaten while I'm alive by a bear.
That bear's not mauling me. I got that bear. I got him cold.
And I'm thinking, and when I think bear, I think like grizzly bear, not like
I'm on
pussy
that
black
grizzly bear.
bears.
I'm on that grizzly bear's back. I'm
You
climbing.
would jump on a grizzly bear?
I would. I'm not gonna go down freaking like a bitch. I am fucking sidestepping that motherfucker, jumping on his back as he comes by me. I am freaking quick. I am agile. I
Oh,
got him.
I'll still try to fight the tiger, but I guarantee it's gonna win.
Because a bear can't touch its back. A bear cannot reach behind its back. So once you're on its back, all it can do is buck and freaking
maybe it'll do like the Baloo thing where it rubs you up against a tree.
maybe, but he'd be dead by the time freaking that happens because I'll be on his neck. He's gonna be bucking. He's gonna be swinging. I got my knife dug into him. I am freaking going for it. I'm going for his neck, and I am going to demo him.
Wow.
Good luck
Okay.
getting through all that fur and muscle.
That's fine. Knives are sharp. I keep my knives nice and sharp. I am gonna carve at that motherfucker. All that fur makes it a whole that much easier to hold on to him.
All right.
Jeez. Okay, you guys ready for mine?
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather be so that you have to survive, okay? You're like out in the middle of nowhere with nothing or whatever you have on you. Would you rather be like in a winterous mountain climate or in a desert?
Mountain.
Mountain.
I guess
I've
that's
lived here my whole life. I know how to survive in the mountains in winter.
Oh, absolutely. I will absolutely live.
okay.
Yeah, as opposed to
All right.
yeah, and you can get water. Water is like the fruit of life. Like you need water, and if you have ice, you can melt it.
For sure.
Yeah, snow and ice. That makes
As
sense.
opposed to a desert, like good luck. You know, you can find water out there, but have fun.
All right, let's jump to a
Yeah.
couple listener would you rather's.
You guys have.
Do you guys have
Let's go.
any would you rather's you'd like to throw in here? All right, let's hear them.
Insert Jeopardy music here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have to put that into into here as we wait.
Just turn the lobby music on.
Oh, here we go. Who wants to read it?
All right, Starstruck Kai says, "Would you rather be trapped in a room with poisonous snakes, or would you rather be trapped in a room with killer bees?"
Snakes.
Snakes all day, dude. I don't do bees. I don't do bees all.
I don't fuck around with bees at all, bro. I'm terrified of them. I got attacked by hives before. Like hell no.
No,
And at least the snakes, there's a good chance they won't bite you because they're
Just chill out. Just stand there
they're
and
protecting
relax.
themselves. Yeah. Yep. Relax. You're good.
How many? 100 snakes are. Oh, is that like a million bees?
Yeah, that's a good
Or
point.
snakes
Yeah.
all
Like, what if there's only was there like 3 bees in the room?
I still wouldn't want to be in there.
A whole room
Oh,
full.
man, I was
A whole
smacking
room
down.
full. All right. Yeah. No. Definitely not a whole room full of bees. I will sit in the whole room full of snakes. Easy. I'll sit there until I'm rescued.
Yeah, and if they do bite you, at least you're going down. Like
Yeah,
with
at
the
least
bees, you're like die of suffocation.
Yeah, dude,
Oh
that's
my
the
God.
horrible way to go. I'm not going out by that. Bees are awful. I'm actually more terrified of bees than anything in this entire world. Bees are like the smallest little creature that can kill you in the most horrible way possible.
If you have an allergic reaction.
Not even an allergic reaction.
Well, if you get stung by like a million bees, you're gonna have an
Yeah, you're going to
allergic
die.
reaction.
Like bees are awful. They can kill you. Just 10 bees can kill you.
That's insane. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, bees. Yeah, I don't like wasps, dude. They like buzz around my face when I'm chilling outside, and I just try to like tough it out, and they just know, man. They know you're afraid of them.
Oh, absolutely. And
The
they'll just follow
spiders,
you. Even
nah.
if they're not going to sting you, they just follow you and buzz around your head like, go ahead, hit me so I can
hate
defend
it.
myself, bitch.
Right?
Yeah, if I was stuck in a room with spiders, though, I'd like kill myself instantly.
Yeah, dude, I'm not like afraid of spiders like that, but like there's a room full of spiders like that, like dude, I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna die, dude. I'm gonna run headfirst into a fucking wall and kill myself as best I can do.
I hate spiders.
Yeah, that'd be the most uncool. Some sort of bug that crawls, like, or centipedes or something. That'd be freaky,
No
man.
bugs. No bugs for me, thanks. I'm good. No bugs.
All right.
Or you can do millipedes. Yeah, millipedes. Like they won't bite you at all, but they're super
Ew.
freaky.
But the crawlies, all the legs.
Yep, like
Ugh.
millions of legs just crawling over your face.
Go ahead.
It's like
Alright.
Beetlejuice,
Would you
man.
rather?
Let's see what IO's would you rather is. Let's see what we've got. What do you got, IO?
I got bugs.
Oh, I agree. Bugs are gross. Got that lobby music going. There we go.
Oh,
All right, here we go. All right. IO says, would you rather have the ability to teleport anywhere in the world instantly, but lose a random memory every time you do? Or be able to read minds, but hear everyone's thoughts all at the time, unable to turn it off?
I'd rather read
Good question.
their thoughts because I honestly get why you teleported there. You know, like
Right?
oh man, like forgetting your keys,
teleported somewhere and then you forgot why you even went there in the first place? Because it's a
or you
random
forget where you're from.
Oh
Are
my
they
gosh.
So you
short-term
just
memories or
teleport.
long-term memories, IO? Both. Ooh, that
Oh.
I don't know if
It
I
could
want to
just be
take the
one
risk.
random memory.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would go. I would go with the mind reading. You know, I hear voices all the time anyway. I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, I honestly don't care what they think that much. Like, yeah, cool.
Right.
You know, like,
I don't
oh, that's the ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen. Like, yeah, some of them might be a little bummer to hear, but
IO says he'd do thoughts. He says he'd tank the insanity.
I assume most
Yeah.
people think like that. You know,
I guess like
And
you would
Starstruck
know what
goes
people
with mind
thought of you.
reading. Yeah, looks like mind reading wins this one. Like, as far as superpowers go, like mind reading would be great, but hearing all those voices would be fucking crazy for a sane person, right? That person would just go nuts. They'd end up becoming a Catholic priest at a certain point in time.
now if you could pick the memory you lose, that'd be even better.
Yeah, if you could pick the memory you could lose, I've got 10 million of those. I'd be able to go anywhere in the world. I'd just totally pick the fucking memories.
Yep, like remember that awkward encounter in high school? Forgotten.
Fucking gone.
You know those memories, those things that you said that you don't want to remember that you said anymore?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Those things
I
that
can't
you
even
said.
imagine all the stupid awkward shit I've said when I was drunk.
Right? Everybody has the memories of things. That,
Like,
you're like, oh, did that just affect the course of that person's life on accident? I have those.
yeah. Well, and the funnier thing is, like, there's like statistically, those people don't even remember that encounter. You're the only one who does.
Right? I remember it from 15 years ago. I told that girl not to go that way or whatever, you know? And they have no clue.
Dude, I would forget like 9 of my 10 personalities.
Did I miss the would you rather's?
We're actually on it now. KTM just came back. Let's get his would you rather, and
I
then
had
we'll
to
move
drive
back.
Kelly
We'll move back
to
on to
get
what we
here.
were talking about. All right, KTM, let's hear it. Let's hear that would you rather.
Oh shit. Would you rather cure cancer or solve world hunger?
I would solve world hunger because that's a bigger problem than cancer, guaranteed.
that's tough for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I got the answer. I can.
Would be cancer because that's like one of the main reasons why a lot of people die. Most people, right? You know.
Yeah, more people die of cancer than they do of hunger
Yeah, but world hunger is the
in the
biggest
world.
problem. Like, it's not about death for me. It's a problem. People shouldn't be starving in a world full of food.
Maybe move out of the fucking desert. Don't
Well,
live
even
in the fucking desert. Problem solved.
I wouldn't starve in the desert. I'd eat scorpions.
That's
Yeah, they
You
do.
wouldn't,
Like,
but that doesn't mean that other people would.
Well, maybe
Our
they should.
problem-
Maybe
our-
they should.
our
You know
problem
what
with
would cure
world
world
hunger-
hunger? What would solve world hunger to me is fucking people just need to stop being retarded and eat.
well, or we need to stop fucking sending food to people so they rely on us. Let them rely on themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teach them how to farm, right? Teach a man, freaking give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
Right.
Well, it's hard to fish in the desert, Michael.
Who said
No,
that?
it's not. It's called sand fishing, and you can dig up all kinds of goodies. Armadillos, you can dig up snakes, you can eat cactus, you can eat scorpions.
Well, good luck getting out with a fishing pole.
Well, you can get it with your hands. You can fish with your hands, kind of like noodling. You don't need a fishing pole to go noodling.
Noodling.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stick my arm down a fish's throat, man.
No thanks.
Noodling's pretty fun.
Oh,
Not
that's
gonna lie.
Some real weird stuff out there. I've caught fish with my bare hands, but I had to do it the old-fashioned way, like slowly cage them in with walls.
What about you, KTM? You gonna solve cancer? Or you gonna cure world hunger?
It's the other way around. But cure cancer.
You're gonna cure cancer? All right.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah, like I said, all the cigarettes I want. Screw everyone else.
Exactly.
It's all about me.
Oh,
no.
Being able to do whatever you wanted, and not get
Go,
cancer.
Yeah.
go more
You know how
here, Arby.
profitable that'd be?
Okay.
If I want to,
okay.
yeah, I could take on all those rads, man.
All them rads, he
That
says.
way.
I was like, what
Alright.
if you come up with a cure and it was only like $5 for the cure?
That would be insane.
Like buying a soda,
Yeah, just like buying a soda, it's a cancer cure. Yeah, like Radaway.
like rad.
Buying Radaway, basically.
All right. I can live with that, but I'm definitely still going with freaking solving world hunger.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, let's move. Let's
Let
move
them,
back on
all
to
die
our,
from hunger, so they won't be hungry anymore.
move on to our main topic here. KTM's back. KTM, you were explaining to us about your zombie game. We did a little bit. We touched a little bit on it after you left, but we moved on to the Would You Rather's after you left to give you some time to come back. But
Yeah, tell us.
tell us more. I want to hear about this game.
Oh, well, because, like, they have survival zombie games, you know? But they're very, like, just not that great, you know? Like, there's DayZ. That's not... Like, you can't build... And then there's, like, have you ever played State of Decay? Or State of Decay 2?
Yeah, I've played most zombie games.
Yeah, like, you can kind of build your own settlement and everything, but, like, you don't get to design it and, you know, shit like that. So it'd be like, but you'd have, like, the parkour and stuff from, like, Dying Light, and it'd take place, like, 100 years after the first is, like, zombie outbreak or something. So, you know, like, in Dying Light 2, how all the cities are overgrown, you know, and everything with vines, grass, whatever.
Yeah.
So it'd be in, like, a post-apocalyptic kind of overgrown world, I guess you could say. And, you know, you could, like, build your base. But I don't play a lot of games that have, like, a building mechanic. But, like, like, Ark or, like, Fallout 4 or Minecraft or something. You completely design your own base, fortress, recruit survivors, send them out to missions or to collect certain things, shit like that. And then,
So it's kind of like the forest in the way where you kind of just design your little spot.
yeah, and then kind of like how what Landon was saying about like ancestors, how it could go on for generations, you know? And then it also have a little bit of like 7 days to die in it too, where every once in a while there's like a super horde, you know, that could attack your city and like your fortress or whatever, and it could fall, or you could like successfully defend it or whatever. And maybe there's like this random generator thing. So every like certain amount of times, like a random new zombie is introduced or something like that. Maybe like super fast one, strong one, whatever.
Hmm.
Sounds interesting. I like the aspect of different zombies, making it more challenging.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
you have,
especially when you don't know how to deal with, like, oh shit, what is this?
Like random, and you never know.
you grow like different types of food, find out ways to get clean water, power, and like maintain it kind of.
That sounds actually really fun. But how would you develop this game? Would it be a one-time buy, or would you insert microtransactions to support the continuous development of this game?
I'm drip feeding. No, I'm just kidding. It'd be a one-time buy. And maybe there would be like certain microtransactions for like, I don't know, cosmetic or something like that.
So you would
Maybe.
insert microtransactions. So what would that money go towards if it's a one-time buy with microtransactions? Would you use that money to add future updates, or would you just use it to hoard away to create maybe the second game, or develop a second game? What would you do that with? Oh, he left.
I don't think he meant to.
Something I think would be cool, actually, as far as like transactions go. Kind of the same way as like Patreon. You know how you can like pay for. Here, I'll go ahead and speak. You can pay for like earlier builds of something. So as opposed to like Diablo, they have like the test realm, and then they have just a regular one that you play. You can have people pay to join the test realm, the beta, essentially, of your development build,
Yeah.
and that could
Sounds sick,
help
yeah.
fund. Yeah, and a lot of people are going to
Like
want to do
beta
that. Like,
testing?
yeah, let's see the newest thing. Yeah, paid beta testing essentially,
Yeah.
My bad.
just for the development builds and stuff. After it's already built.
All right,
Pretty
so
cool.
I'm gonna repeat that question because KTM accidentally popped out.
Well,
But
if I don't interact with my computer every like 15 minutes, it black screens, goes into sleep mode.
yeah, I feel that. So the question was, so since it's going to be a one-time buy with microtransactions, would you use that money to just kind of hoard away, keep to yourself, or would you use that money to develop a sequel to the game, in development of a sequel to the game, or just another game in total general?
Probably like DLCs, maybe. But like real DLCs, like maybe like a whole different map, like a different country or something like that.
Well, therefore, then the game's not just a one-time buy.
Oh,
That game would
oh,
be an in development type of game. If you were implementing DLCs, it would be a game in development at that point. Just
it'd be a
like
game in
just
development.
like Destiny, right? Destiny's not a full release game because they're still developing new content for that set game.
But
Yeah, well, Destiny's a live service game, so yeah, it's constantly always in development.
like no, because like there's lots of games where it comes out, you have that game, it's a base game, but then they'll release an add-on for it, a DLC that
Yeah,
is
when
like
Yeah,
you don't
completely
have to
separate story
buy
to
it to play the game. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, Fallout's a good example for that. They had the what was it, like the Nuka World expansion for one of the other games and stuff
Yeah.
like that,
or like
where you
an
could buy it,
Assassin's
but you
Creed
didn't
or
have to
something.
have it. Yeah.
I think a really good example that's actually The Witcher 3. Like The Witcher 3 had like different maps, you can go to different storylines, and you don't actually have to buy it to play the game. The base game, because The Witcher 3 is a base game. You can play that. It's considered one of the greatest RPGs of all time, just baseline. And then you have oh man, I can't remember the name of the DLCs right now, but you have their DLCs there. You can go to different countries essentially and experience new things and different things. So I I do appreciate DLCs, but as long as they're not overpriced, like Destiny is fucking high for making me pay $30 every time they have a DLC. I do it because I'm a dumbass.
Oh, same
But
here, dude. I paid $100 for that freaking pre-release
I did too, every time, bro.
every time. But it's such a good game that the player base
It's
is
such
willing
a
to
good
do
game,
it,
yeah.
right? Like,
But they
good
suck for doing
games-
it that way. They,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, maybe like $20 would be a valid because it's
Yeah,
such a huge expansion as opposed to just a small amount of things.
That's the DLC I would be talking about, like, you know, $15-20. And it's like a separate mini
Yeah.
story, kind of.
Optional DLC.
You know
Yeah,
what I
see,
mean?
I like that. Yeah, like something that doesn't actually change the map you're currently on. Something
And
that you
it's
can
something
go
to,
and
like,
explore if you
yeah,
do buy it.
get you back in the game later on, like a new, more stuff to do or something, you know?
So, do you care if I expand a little bit on your zombie survival game a little bit?
No.
All right. So, my idea, I like your idea of it. But what if you take like a real world model, say like Fallout did, right? They went around and they took real world models of real cities, real things, right? And they're like, okay, so this is what it would look like if it all got destroyed. So what if you took models like that and you made a real world model of that and you had the option to go around and collect survivors and build a community, but you still had the option to travel around the world and those can be your DLCs, right? Like, okay, so now that we've developed say Los Angeles. Now the map's bigger, right? You can travel from state to state, and like say Trucking Simulator does this. Trucking Simulator, they don't release it all at once, but they release it state by state as they develop it and drive around and actually get real world models. And you can go around in these new areas and you can either choose to move your settlement or you can continue to expand on your settlement, bring back survivors, or run into conflict with other surviving nations, therefore opening it up to say a what do you call it, a uh, MMO, right? Online MMO where like you can jump in, say you won't be able to join a server, say if somebody else has a settlement in your area, so it searches for servers where your settlement area would be available where you've already built. So you've got your
Yeah,
settlement, and you can have conflict with these other player settlements, right? You can go either trade with them, kind of like Fallout does, right? You can't build your house there because somebody else's house is there, whatever. So you just rejoin a server until you can get your freaking settlement where it's at, and then you can trade with these players or have conflict with these players. You can raid these players, you know, and then as people buy these DLCs, right, or expansions, it opens up the world to more players being able to join that world. Say you want yours in Los Angeles, and say you've got a settlement you're conflicting with in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
But like open it up to that aspect of it. But like you're fighting, you're surviving, you have to find food. Maybe there's no more food in the area you're at, so you have to farm. You have to find some way to feed your settlement.
Yeah, that multiplayer aspect would be cool. And yeah, definitely I'd add that as well. But also, like, just if you wanted to not do that or just play with like friends or something, you could do that as well.
Yeah, Fallout does that as
And
well with the you can either play online or you can play in a private world with your friends.
yeah, and I mean,
Fallout
and you could
Zombie
still
Edition.
find like other settlements or other survivors, you know, but they're just NPCs.
Yeah, NPCs
Yeah.
bring them in and you can assign them to do tasks like, okay, you're now a farmer or you're on scavenging duty, right?
Yeah, and like maybe you could even do it where like maybe they decide to hate you and want to overthrow you or something. Starts a
Yeah.
rebellion. Just
Absolutely.
random stuff like that. And also, yeah, I never meant to be like you have to stay at like a settlement or anything. Like you could travel as much as you want, but you just have to keep finding like water and food or bring a
Survival.
large amount with you to keep you going.
That's
be-
Have you ever played like the Shadow of Mordor games?
Yeah, I love Shadow of Mordor.
It could be like that, like with their nemesis system type thing. So like you
Yeah.
come across random people that you can either befriend or just completely dominate.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Or maybe you find a settlement. They pretend to be friendly or something, and then just completely ambush you.
Like reverse Trojan horse you, like let you in their gates and just kick
Yeah.
your ass.
That would kind of suck.
So you'd have to kind of like gauge everything going into certain situations.
Sounds
It'd
like
be cool
fun.
if you could like build relations with them too, like oh you are you're okay to them or you're their best friend.
Kind of
Yeah.
like The
Or they
Walking Dead, they have all
turn
those
on your
different
action.
settlements, and maybe they don't all get along, or maybe they get along and they help each other. I really like those freaking forest people. I can't remember their name right now. Those people that lived in the freaking woods and traveled with the zombies in The Walking Dead. Like maybe meet somebody
Oh,
like
no,
that.
Yeah, they had like the different settlements and towns, and like some of them got along and some didn't. You know,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Sounds like fun.
It sounds like fun, and I would 100% play it. Like I love zombie games, 100%.
Yeah,
So
I love zombie games, but I just don't think there's any like super good survival ones out.
no, not at all, because they're so limited. They're so limited to what you
Exactly.
can do.
Like I said, the
Bethesda needs to
main
make
idea I think of the zombie games is just to survive, man. You gotta survive like getting attacked constantly by these assholes that want to eat your face off. And so they don't branch above that, which is kinda lame.
But
They
I
stick
also
to the single idea and don't move on.
don't think like a whole lot of like mainstream developers with like huge budgets and everything. I don't think they've really made like full on zombie games. You know.
Oh, for sure. They don't. I think a lot of developers lack the imagination to just open up that freaking portal.
I think it's a topic that people think. They think because that zombie stuff has been around for such a long time that it's played out and they don't want to get into that. But I think that like all of this, there are so many more possibilities that they're not touching. Like they
Yeah.
could do things like that, but they won't because they're like, oh,
Well,
zombies is
there's
already done. Zombies has already been there. It's been a zombie whatever, movies, TV shows, games, they all already exist. How do we, change it up? Do something different, interesting.
Like I
yeah, there's
said, all
the
these
problem is like there's not a lot of
devs.
innovation.
Yeah, all these devs need to just get their heads together because there's a lot of imagination there. But one single dev wants this, the other dev wants that. They create all these separate games, and all these aspects are in place, but in different games. All these devs just need to get together and just build one fucking game. Like
Or
Well,
there
and a
is
lot of the reason is like those big companies, they just won't let them do that, even if they do want to do it that specific way. That's where indie developers are gonna crush it. Like like the FPS. You know what I mean? Like you think like, oh, you're just shooting guns at people. It's hard to innovate. I mean, but like look at like Escape from Tarkov and Gray Zone Warfare. I mean, it's extremely different than we're used to, even though it's more or less the same type of game we've been playing for 20 years.
yeah,
Right.
the
or
innovation in it is amazing, but now they're falling behind, right? You see Tarkov, they flopped. As soon as Tarkov made a little slip, you know what released? Two brand new games exactly like Tarkov. As soon as Tarkov made a slip. And that's what's happening. Instead of these guys going, well, why don't we take that slip and we jump in and help Tarkov and be like, okay, hey, we've got these fucking ideas to help your game. We want in, right? And we want in and we want to help you make this better and help you develop this as indie gamers. But instead, they're
I
like,
don't want
no, like
Because they don't want to
Breakout,
cross the red tape, man. They can do it themselves.
like Arena Breakout Infinite. That's been a mobile game for years, but as soon as Tarkov slipped, they're like, we're releasing a PC version right now. We're throwing it in closed beta right now.
Yeah, it was a huge PR fuck up with Tarkov.
Tarkov fucked up, but that's what's happening is the imagination's out there, the games are out there, but they're all waiting for each other to slip rather than working together, and that's what's failing our gaming community, and it's awful.
it's
you know
And
what?
it's the whole money thing. It's
There is a
really
zombie.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I do like the more people, the more competitive. So I don't think they should be helping each other out. They should be fucking ending their games.
There is
and those guys' career.
there is a zombie game that I'm excited for. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's called Light Survival.
I have not seen
Blight?
anything about it.
Light survival.
Yeah. It's like in medieval times, and you're like a knight.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's an
Oh.
interesting thing.
I think I saw. I think I saw something about that forever ago.
Putting a
Yeah,
new
it's,
spin
Yeah, that's
on it.
right up in your face. Yeah.
Yeah, that's different.
All right. Well, we're running around the hour 15 mark. Let's jump into a quick listener game dev idea. Just one. We're going to go to IO. And he says his game would be server side. Running the self servers would be a lot to invest in. My answer to the question, if I were a video game developer, I would create a modernistic, immersive game designed to foster communication and creatively among players. The game would be a virtual world where users can seamlessly switch between VR and standard play, prioritizing both accessibility and immersion. The core experience would revolve around social interaction and collaboration, allowing players to build and customize their environment without limitations. The game would feature an advanced building system, enabling players to create intricate structures, landscapes, and even functional devices, all within a high-fidelity graphical setting, powered by an advanced engine such as Unreal Engine. To enhance immersion, the game would leverage cutting-edge VR technology, providing intuitive controls and realistic physics. The social aspect would be enriched with voice and gesture recognition, enabling natural and expressive communication. Players could host events, join communities, and participate in collaborative projects, making the virtual world feel alive and dynamic. The game's open ended nature would encourage exploration and creativity, ensuring that every player can find their unique way to contribute and engage, whether they prefer constructing magnificent buildings, crafting detailed art, or simply hanging out with friends in a beautifully rendered environment. The possibilities would be endless, creating a truly immersive and social gaming experience.
That sounds like a VR social game. Is that what it is? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, a VR social game. Okay.
I can feel that.
Yeah,
Is
I
a little
mean-
more high fidelity than VR chat.
Absolutely.
probably.
Kind of like that VR game where like they take like the Minecraft aspect where you can run around your house or like go in your backyard and dig a virtual hole and jump into it if you wanted
Oh.
to.
Yeah, dude, they are, so it's pretty cool.
Things, and then do it and do social with multiplayer, and it says
Can I do crack in your game, IO?
Yes. Can we do crack in your game? He
Hell
says, hell
yeah.
yeah. He says, hell yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it. All right. Well, we appreciate that question there, IO. And answer to, or sorry, not question, the answer to our question. And that game sounds really fun. Like, I'm not much into VR, gives me a headache and all that, but because it would be VR and non VR, I mean, I feel like I would have fun with it. Like, I have fun with Minecraft and generally any social building games. And not having limitations, me being a free American, you know, I like my freedom and I like having the freedom to do whatever the fuck I want. Like, as Landon said, doing crack if I wanted to.
That's funny.
Yep,
All
stream
right.
that on Twitch.
Yeah, stream that on Twitch, boys.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
real crack.
We're going to move on to some unpopular opinions now.
Hi guys, I'm Dahlia. I'm going to tell you about an energy drink called W. W is the pinnacle of purity and performance, crafted for those who demand only the best. W is free from maltodextrin, fillers, artificial colors or dyes, and sugar, ensuring a clean and natural energy boost. With a carefully curated blend of premium ingredients, including essential vitamins and a powerful caffeine kick, W revitalizes your body and mind without any unnecessary additives. Whether you're pushing your limits at the gym, staying sharp during a hectic day, or fueling your passions, W stands as a beacon of quality and integrity in the world of energy drinks. Elevate your experience with W Energy Drink. Pure energy, pure focus, pure power. You can try it today at w.gg and use our code PhantomRift for 10% off your order.
All right, this one is going to be for Landon.
No.
All right.
Oh no.
So I want you to argue the fact that we need to open up all of our borders to Mexico and Canada to form one super country.
To form a super country?
To form a super country.
So
That means
you're
taking
talking about
down all
annexation.
fences. I'm talking about taking down our fences and stuff and just saying, hey, you know, you have your government, you have
Like
your
you-
government, but we
you-
can all work together
you-
and build something.
Okay. I can do that. So yeah, in my mind it's like the EU. Right? And that's actually shown a lot that it's actually super beneficial for all the countries around it. Jason, go play in it, bud. Sorry, my kid. So I do think borders should be open, regardless, because we shouldn't keep people out, regardless of where you are from or where you're doing. You know, I don't care what you're doing here. You know, you want to go do crack behind the Wendy's, have fun.
But what?
But it will
what
be
about
beneficial
the-
economically.
But how? Like economically, like we let all these people in, you know, what does that do for the people in this side of the fence that don't have jobs already because of the nature of the economy that is as it is? So what happens when we let all these thousands and thousands and millions of people in and they just freaking rampage through everything? Yeah, not like in a destructive way, but they rampage through our economy and they are taking advantage of all of our resources from the government and all of that. Do our taxes go up? And all these arguments that happen, like when we open up those borders, like how would we solve that? Like,
We would all go to Canada for their free healthcare.
That's my question. That's my
Mhm.
question. What about all the people that want to leave? So there may be tons of people that want to come in, but what about the people that want out?
yeah,
What do you mean want out?
they would be free to leave this part of the country, like, but it would all be one country at that point. Like, if we open up those borders and everybody's working together, it would all be one country. How would those laws integrate? Like, how would we integrate those laws? How would we integrate the economy? If the economy is failing so bad on the Mexico side that they're all flooding here, nobody's going to want to go to a failing economy in Mexico, right?
Well, if you connect the economies much like the EU does, it won't matter because we'll pick up their slack, we'll pick up our little brother's slack, and they will cover for us as well, along with Canada. And
then
economically, it does make more
believe-
sense,
and
especially
then
for like people in like the logging industry. We can freely transfer things from Canada and vice versa, or we can grow peyote down in Mexico and transfer it here, or vice versa.
Well, people
It's-
are afraid of post-war depression. There wouldn't be a war per se, but when you open up an economy and start doing things like that, there would be a depression of some kind. How would you handle the post-war depression?
Well, there wouldn't be a war.
But it's
We'd spank
post-war.
them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no war, but it's called post-war depression because the economy has suffered so hard from the event. So it may not be a war, but because of the event, it would be considered a post-war depression. But
Well, if you
depression nonetheless.
if you increase the amount of people that are able to use our economy, so if you force Canada to Mexico to use basically the U.S. dollar or whatever form they want to do that, kind of like they do with the euro over in Europe, it's going to create a whole new economy, and it will be beneficial for the three countries and everyone that trades with us. we will still be the top economy, probably even better, because we have things such as Canada's resources and even Mexico's, even though half of it's a desert. But I do believe that. Jason, sorry, I can barely think today. Anyways, I believe that opening up the borders and forming one giant country. Jason, go play in there. Go on, get. Uh, and allowing people that are, I mean, because yeah, we're gonna let in the SKU, but we're also gonna let in the people that are intelligent and people that actually deserve to be in a place like this, as opposed to getting screwed over in a, and becoming a salt farmer down in Mexico. They can become an engineer up here and extremely
Yes,
boost our economy.
that I've always thought about. What about all of the intelligent people that don't have access to like education and stuff that could be freaking space engineers or something? That are
There's a lot of extremely intelligent people in Mexico. I mean, way more than even we are put together, probably. Just they don't have the same chances that we do. But if they were given that chance, I feel like Mexico for one would be a lot better, and also it would be a lot easier to control the cartels and all the problems that people have with the drugs, because they would have America stomping down on them, because we don't have the chance to do that. We can only do that here. Mexico won't let us go over there and just put the hurt down. But if we were all if we were all connected economically and politically, we would be able to put a lot of control into a lot of situations that Mexico just doesn't have the chance right now. And Canada is just, well, Canada's America Junior.
Pretty much.
Basically, yes.
Canada's so similar.
All right, let's move on. Let's go with KTM. KTM, what is your unpopular opinion?
Okay. This one's for Dahlia.
Oh.
Okay. Gambling is not an addiction. It's a side hustle.
Is she arguing for or against?
For.
She's all right. She's arguing for.
Okay. All right. I don't even know how.
Just bullshit it.
Bullshit your way through it. We got this.
Well, if I go to the casino,
Like,
man,
if I were a little more
make most
quick-witted
money,
today.
right? I'm not. It's not in my brain.
Yeah, I'm a little slow today, so.
Yeah, I could just come out with like $250, way more than what I did before. I go
Well,
in
but
there with
what
a little
if-
bit of money, come out with extra money. How do you argue this? I don't know, man.
But what if
Well,
you...
maybe you're not addicted to it.
Well, do you want to switch the roles? You can argue against it.
I just, in general, personally, I'm not a fan because I think it's just throwing money down the toilet.
Well, I think
Like,
I'm
I
only
don't know, man.
32 good blackjack hands away from being Elon Musk.
Oh, I agree there. I could sit at a freaking card table all night long and
Yeah,
You
blackjack's not an addiction; it's a skill.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's a
Is
talent.
it?
But
Oh,
but
man.
most casinos take that freaking skill away because they frown upon counting cards.
Yeah, or poker, man.
Oh, absolutely. Counting cards is
Like-
frowned upon, so therefore they're taking that skill out of it.
Y'all
Well,
see those
yeah,
giant
you don't have to count cards to
glasses?
be good.
These
Yeah.
giant. My eyeballs are messed up. There ain't no way I could sit there and count people's cards and not mess up.
Well, that's why you sit in front of the giant slot machine and just pull a lever.
Mhm.
That
That
lever.
takes skill too. It's all
Slot
skill.
machines are fun.
Exactly.
I'm not even gonna lie. Those are pretty fun.
'Cause
Yeah, I
you-
like it.
You
But
know
it
if
is,
you haven't...
how much money? Every
Yeah,
single
like
time.
in the next three, I'm definitely gonna make that jackpot every
Exactly.
time.
You know
Happens every time.
if you're on a losing streak,
Yeah.
you never quit because it's about to hit.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're
It's like-
hitting, you don't want to leave on a hot streak. Like
But what do you do when you're out of money?
You don't get out of money.
you sell your
can't.
house.
Yeah, you
Yeah, or
mortgage your house.
children.
What?
Yeah, you mortgage your
Yeah.
house and you borrow money from your kids, and if they don't want to loan it
You-
to you, you fucking guilt trip them. Tell them I
You
paid all this
donate
money for you to live, and then make them give you money, and then you go continue your gambling addiction.
and start selling
It's not an
certain
addiction though. It's a side hustle.
organs.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
it's a side
start
hustle. Like, because say you could mortgage your house and take all that money and triple it and buy 3 more freaking houses.
Exactly.
Oh.
And rent 2 of those houses out.
Absolutely, and now you got all those
Passive
people
income.
paying money for your side hustle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
It's an
nice to
endless
have-
stream of wealth right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Now that we've established that a gambling is not
Well-
an addiction, it is a side hustle.
I want to say something though. The only way you lose in gambling is if you quit. Think
Yep.
about it.
Okay.
Truth.
That's what the stock market is, just a giant gambling ring.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we've established
you-
that, let's move on to Dahlia here. What is your unpopular opinion?
You guys can argue this, okay? Whatever side you'd like.
Who?
I don't care who picked it up. I don't care.
You got to pick one person.
Okay, fine. You.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Celebrities.
and the peanut gallery can join in.
Yeah, you guys can join. Celebrities paying 75,000 to get into a dinner is a great idea.
Oh, absolutely. Those celebrities, they need to show their power. Like, I want to know which celebrity is good and which celebrity is bad. They don't just get to walk in with $75,000, say I want in. They have to be invited. They have to be really special. So I want to see who the lizard people are. Only lizard people
No,
are
I like
invited
the
to
real
this.
power move of just walking into anywhere and then telling them to shut that place down. I'm here.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
It's a
saying.
real
Like,
power move right
this
there.
this $75,000 dinner is only for lizard people. That's why it's an invite only. So I want to see who all these lizard people are who are running this country, because everybody knows that lizard people
Sucking
run
the
our
blood
country.
out of babies.
That's exactly right. You know they're doing some crazy ass freaking rituals in there. I mean,
Yep, slurp. Let's go.
it's the best
Suck the
idea
blood
ever.
out of a baby. Join that place.
It's just
Go.
somebody with a brain trying to inform us of who our actual overlords are.
Right. They're just showing off, right?
Absolutely. They're just showing off like, hey, you didn't get in an invite, did you? You must not be one of us.
Well, it's a Machiavellian way, it's better to be feared than loved.
Absolutely.
Yep, and the only way you keep power is by showing it, exert it, force it.
It baffles me. Like they pay this money. The one girl, she had a purse that was literally a block of ice and it had a rose inside of it that was coated in gold. It was literally a block of ice and she was carrying it around. Like
Fucking sick, bro.
That
True
is-
power right there.
Well,
Are you
lizard, hey,
kidding?
it makes sense. Lizard people are cold blooded.
Yeah. Make a really good old lady weapon too.
Oh my god.
Get
That's
hit
funny.
over the head with a
I just
Fucking
can't wrap my
block
brain
of
around that.
ice.
Like, that's
Yeah, they
normal.
clock you over the head with an ice and then they throw the rose on you like they're a fucking hitman.
Just like swinging it around, smack like a brick. It's like a brick with a handle. Literally, is what it was. I just can't. I can't wrap my mind around any of that shit. Like,
Ever
they
think
had to
maybe
pay
it
more
was for
money than
something?
what people get paid in a year to go sit in a room with other people who paid that money. Like,
Fucking lizard people, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we're not even talking about the person who set that shit up. That's a real side hustle right there.
right?
Yeah, that motherfucker,
No
he probably has no. He's probably just some fucking homeless dude. He's like, you know what? What if I rented this place out for a freaking little while and I just only invited the richest and most powerful freaking people and charged them $75,000 to make them feel like they're special.
Let me give you some
Yep.
background, okay? It's ran by the Met, which is the Metropolitan Art Museum in New York. And the lady that does it, that's in charge of that, she like, I don't remember her name, but she chooses the people that gets to go, and then they pay to go there.
It was like the Met
And-
Gala.
Yeah, the Met Gala. That's crazy. $75,000 just to go inside. It
It's true
just
power.
baffles me.
That's why you don't give them 75. You give them 100.
They might.
Really
They
proud.
absolutely might. Who knows? But I just think it's wild. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I think it's crazy.
It's kind of like the Illuminati. They meet and people know about
Well, it
it.
does cost a lot to,
Some
you know,
dystopian
get a
Hunger
baby.
Games shit, you know?
Stuff.
It does. It does cost a lot to get a baby. Those other countries charge freaking like $100K per baby.
Yeah, so they're getting a deal.
They are. They're absolutely getting a deal.
Insane.
All right. Now that we've established that Met Gala dinner is a gathering of lizard people, let's move on to Landon. What is your unpopular opinion?
Oof. I had one. Let's wait. Give me 1 second. Oh
Blue
man.
is better than ranch.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, blue cheese is better than ranch, Dahlia.
Ranch. No. Did you hear me earlier?
You
I
have to
never
argue
had
that
it.
blue cheese is better than ranch. What are you talking about?
Please don't fight
Yep,
with me.
and why?
I've never tried it. Okay.
But that's
What?
not the question. You have to argue the fact that blue cheese is
They're
better than
cheating
ranch.
on me today. I've never. Blue cheese is
I know
so
we're all
delicious.
picking on you
I
now.
love cheese. Oh my god.
But
ranch
why?
Is so
What about the
gross. It
te-
has too many
Whoa, that
seasonings.
ranch doesn't have to be gross. It just has to. Blue cheese just has to
What
be
ab-
better than ranch.
What about the taste from blue ranch or blue cheese stands out to you?
Oh my god.
What's that flavor that just really pops out, makes it better than ranch?
Never. I don't.
Is it the sour blue mold mixed in
Yeah,
with that feta?
little bit of bitterness. It's nothing
Yeah.
that tops it, man.
All of it. Yep.
What about it pairs perfectly with a Buffalo Wild Wing?
Yeah, or a fucking thick carrot, bro.
You know what I don't like? Celery.
Ranch?
What? Blue cheese goes great
Oh.
with celery. What do you mean?
It
Way
does,
better
dude.
than ranch.
Celery. I hate celery. I hate the little strings and
You hate celery with ranch.
Yeah, you hate celery with ranch. You love
Have
it
you
with blue
tried it with
cheese, though,
blue
don't
cheese?
you?
Yeah, that'll change your mind, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe.
You'll forget all about those strings with the bitterness of that blue.
Yeah,
Absolutely hate celery.
blue cheese dressing is where it's at, bro. Even just blue cheese in
Dude,
general.
Have you had that Lighthouse Bacon blue cheese ranch?
I haven't.
Oh, it's so amazing. I love it.
That sounds good. I'll just go chop up some bacon, throw in my blue cheese.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you ever like gone out to eat with someone? You know, you all get wings, and then they're like, "Oh, can I get ranch?" And you're just like,
No,
"What the fuck?"
I would
No.
instantly uninvite them from my birthday party.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, I would show them the door.
it's just like you're covering the bill now. Like,
It's like someone who gets like a well done steak.
Oh my
Typically,
god.
they-
I had a girlfriend one time that freaking ordered a well done steak and I broke up with her.
Yeah, like that's grounds for termination right
That
there.
is-
Like they
that's
should get
zero
fired from their
taste.
job.
That is literally zero taste. Like you have no taste buds. You get the fuck out of here.
They eat it with ketchup too.
Yeah, for real, dude.
That's so funny.
You want me to like
They're
douse
sitting
it
there-
in butter for you and
they're
freaking
chewing it.
stick it to
I'm
a
not gonna
fucking
lie.
dog turd?
They're chewing it
What?
for 10 minutes.
I don't like my steak to have pink in it.
Oh
Should have
my
pink in it.
god. It should. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It doesn't
No,
have to
no,
be
no.
red,
No.
but it can be pink.
Yeah,
I don't
pink is
like pink.
okay.
The juices.
This guy.
And it goes really good with
after you cook
blue
all
cheese
that
red-
pink
or
and red
dressing.
out of there, all that pink and red out of there, that piece of meat no longer has any nutritional value. It is fucking gone. You just have yourself a fucking lump of fucking clay, or a giant lump of bubble gum, I should say, because it takes you fucking 20 minutes to chew it up.
Well, I don't eat.
Yeah, you got to turn it into a
I
roast
don't
after
eat
that.
steak very much, but that gets me to another
Just stop
opinion.
it. Just don't even say
Chicken
very
is
much.
better
Just
than
stop eating steak at that point. Just don't touch it.
Chicken is better.
I agree. Chicken is really
Oh.
good. Chicken is way better than steak.
It's not better than steak.
It's better than steak.
No.
I agree.
No, it's
I do
not.
like chicken more than steak. I like a good
You
steak,
guys,
You?
but I do
guys
prefer
fucking triggered
chicken over
my-
steak.
You like
you
steak?
triggered my native, raised by redneck fucking ancestry. Steak
Chicken
is
where it at?
significantly better than steak.
No.
Chicken is fucking flavorless and dry 99% of the time. And steak is full of so much flavor. Steak is just perfect in every
No, it's
single
like-
way. No matter, you can have like the world's shittiest steak and it's better than any chicken.
No, it's just like whenever I go.
I'd
to-
rather eat that shit well done than eat a fucking chicken.
There's something about
Whenever
the
I go
texture
to-
of chicken over the texture of steak fucking supersedes it. And the
I
way
like
that
chicken
chicken
strips.
absorbs a
That's all about
marinade
it.
over a steak absorbing marinade, I have to beat that steak with a hammer for it to absorb that marinade the way I want it to, opposed
And
to
all
just
the
marinating that
different
chicken.
ways-
You ain't doing it right, my guy.
all the
gotta-
different ways you can cook chicken. Like,
Chicken strips is
Oh,
the
don't
only.
you get into the fucking
way I
Forrest
like
Gump
chicken like
fucking
that.
speech where Bubba tells him every fucking way to cook shrimp, but with chicken. I don't want to fucking hear that. Don't even get into it.
Barbecue
you got a chicken
chicken.
parm, you got some herb roasted chicken.
You know Bubba died, right? You know Bubba died.
Dude,
Okay,
chicken.
okay. Would you rather, man? But would you rather have like chicken fried steak or fucking chicken fried chicken?
I would have fried chicken all day. I like chicken
Yeah,
fried steak.
fried chicken.
But
I
I
don't
would
like fried chicken.
I would definitely get a good piece of fried chicken over chicken fried steak.
What about?
I don't like fried chicken at all. It's gross, man. Like the fucking chicken fat like pops in your mouth. It's disgusting.
Fried chicken is delicious.
Yeah,
Nah,
don't
man.
you? Don't
I
you
do like-
insult
I
my
do like-
southern roots, boy.
I do like cold fried chicken actually.
Now that's fucking gross.
That's odd.
If you don't,
Nah,
if you
man,
don't
that's
like
fucking
the chicken
fire, bro.
fat, like cold chicken fat over fucking like the juices
It doesn't
from
pop
the chicken
in your
fat.
mouth, bro. It like
Oh.
fucking shoots in your mouth like a squirter, bro. It's gross.
I'm dying.
But you
I'm
ate
dying.
a fucked up chicken.
I'm dying.
You had a fucked up chicken.
It's not just the only chicken I've ever done. I had that happen to. It's just I don't know.
Come hang out and I'll make some food for you, and then you'll feel better. Okay.
I don't mind chicken, but beef is where it's at as far as I go. Nice red meat.
I agree. I like
Especially get like
steak.
especially get like a ribeye or I like New York strip personally, but you're like yes, and I get a nice ribeye or New York strip.
Okay, the only
General sounds
only
good.
way I'll eat like a medium rare steak is if it's on the barbecue. It's on the grill. No,
Oh, yeah,
It's
has
the
to be
only
on
way
the
to
grill.
cook your steak.
Yeah, the only way to cook a good steak is on the grill.
okay,
That's
okay.
what you need. That's perfect.
Then we're in agreement. I just don't like,
Yeah.
if they over the stove. You know?
All right, so
Nah,
guys,
you can cook a good steak on the stove, but it's not as good as on the barbecue at all.
Exactly.
all right, guys. Now that we've established that blue cheese is way better than ranch,
And chicken is superior.
Wow.
chicken
yeah, that's
is
where that
superior
Chicken is
to
not
beef.
superior.
But we're gonna move on to
Are you
our
guys fucking
last
Chinese?
unpopular opinion, and this unpopular opinion is gonna go out to our listeners. Listeners, whoever may be listening, let's hear your unpopular opinion and who it's for.
What you got? What are we gonna fight about now?
Do 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 do. Wait.
Hot dogs are good. That's an unpopular opinion.
I actually really fuck with mustard.
All right.
Me too.
So his unpopular opinion is, he says, to me, mustard is by far the best condiment ever.
Let chaos commence.
Okay,
I think
like
mustard.
mustard.
I agree. Mustard is the best condiment ever.
I
You
guys
prefer
All wrong.
honey mustard.
That
Oh,
and blue
no,
ranch.
no,
that
no,
blue
no.
ranch dressing. The blue cheese dressing.
I like mustard, but no, it's not the
I love
best
mustard.
condiment ever. No,
I get
Barbecue
super
sauce.
bummed out when I get a sandwich without
Barbecue,
mustard,
yeah.
bro.
Barbecue sauce is the best condiment ever.
Even ketchup is better than mustard.
Oh man, dude! Like there's a lot
Nah.
of different mustards, but it all has the same freaking taste. All mustard has the same
German
taste.
mustard? Come on.
Yeah,
German
perfection.
with
That's what it
stone
tastes
ground
like.
Mustard is so good.
Mustard is mustard, no
So
matter
good.
what. It's a freaking seed. It all has the same flavor, just a different
No, it
after
doesn't.
flavor. It all has the same.
There's
taste.
yellow mustard. There's Dijon mustard. There's
It
honey
all
mustard.
tastes the
There's
same.
fucking
Spicy
Chinese mustard. No,
It only
it's
has a
not.
different aftertaste. It all tastes like
No.
freaking mustard at the end of it. All of it.
Dijon mustard and yellow mustard are significantly different.
I'm not
Okay,
saying
yeah,
I
I was
hate
Or
mustard.
brown mustard,
I'm not saying I
like
hate mustard. but
or
I
Chinese mustard.
arguably,
Like,
mustard
you ever
is not.
like try putting that shit on your sandwich, bro? It'll burn your face
Just
off.
went through all the different mustards like we were chicken.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, barbecue sauce
Barbecue
does the same
sauce.
thing, except barbecue sauce has a mayo base, which is virtually flavorless, which therefore you can make into whatever. You can have a mustard barbecue sauce.
Mayo?
You say barbecue sauce has a mayo base?
Yeah,
Barbecue sauce has a ketchup.
What kind of
base.
fucking barbecue sauce are you eating, bro?
good barbecue
has,
sauce.
has a ketchup and mustard kind of base to it. It's like
It's like ketchup,
mayo.
bro, just with spices in it and brown sugar.
Exactly, including mustard. But that doesn't
No,
make
yeah, if you
mustard
do, like, the
superior because
Carolina
it's in barbecue
barbecue
sauce.
sauce.
Barbecue sauce just abuses mustard like a fucking redheaded stepchild.
No,
Oh my
but
gosh.
dude, you get
So wait,
a sandwich, man, with a fucking
you're pro
thick
mustard
slab in of
use? Is that what
mustard.
you're saying?
well, we're talking about. Well, yeah, obviously you can't
Yeah.
put
Canceled.
you can't put barbecue sauce
And a-
on like a deli sandwich.
Dude, you
know?
totally
Nah.
can't. Don't you fucking lie to me. Don't you lie
No,
to
you
me.
can't.
You can.
That's
I
not
do it
that
all the
good.
time. I fucking do it all the time.
Okay, that's gross.
I bet you there's that psychopath that orders fucking barbecue chicken pizza.
Dude, I do.
He does.
Barbecue chicken pizza is delicious. So is chicken bacon.
It's
ranch.
okay.
Chicken
Yeah,
bacon
it's
ranch
okay.
pizza.
Totally
Chicken bacon
does.
ranch is fire.
Here. Go ahead and order a mustard fucking bacon ranch pizza.
Hey, I actually had a really good mustard pizza. It had mustard, it had sauerkraut, and fucking German sausage on it. It was
That's
awesome.
disgusting. Who
Dude,
the hell
that
likes
is
No,
so
dude, it was
disgusting. You
super-
need a white
It
sauce
was
if you're gonna have
super
fucking.
good, bro.
You need a
I'd
What
try
white
kind of
it.
sauce on that.
German fucking pizza are you
I'd
eating?
Nah.
try it.
It was
A
really
mustard
good, actually. It sounds crazy, but it was actually super good.
With sauerkraut.
And you're calling me the psychopath. You're calling me the psychopath for putting fucking barbecue sauce on my sandwich. You be putting mustard on your pizza. Fuck out of here.
Insane.
I don't put mustards on my pizza. I tried it one time. I prefer
One time. Was it
red
good?
sauce.
Was it any
I prefer
good?
red sauce or white sauce on my pizza.
Was
It was
good?
alright.
Oh, it was all right. It wasn't the best though, like barbecue sauce.
Now there's fucking barbecue chicken pizza.
It's far
You guys ever
superior
seen
though.
people eat
No, fucking
pizza
nothing.
with ketchup?
Oh my
Eat
god,
what?
I've seen people eat pizza with ketchup, and it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, no. At least we can all agree they need to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, it's
And they
kind of
all
like
have the
dipping
same
your French
argument,
fries in
too.
your milkshake at Wendy's. Like, what kind of fucking nut job does that? Fucking stop.
Talking about
90% of white America, man.
I agree with that.
You.
It's
I
not that
agree.
bad.
That's
So
weird.
It's not that
It's
bad.
gross,
I
I
dude.
prefer to eat it by themselves.
I
But
tell you what, I'll make you a baked potato and I'll mush it up in your fucking milkshake. And you can have yourself a fucking potato milkshake.
No. The salted fried potato plus the cold at the same time.
Oh, don't worry, I'll salt that
It's
baked
combo
potato for you.
Flavors, man. No,
It's not the same. You're
fried
comparing
sweet
salt on your
potato.
watermelon to salt in your ice cream.
Salt on your watermelon? That's
good
horrific.
too.
That-
No, it's super
That's
good.
really good.
And green
Put up
apples,
that other
man.
watermelon.
Salt and green apples is really good too. It brings out the sweetness.
You guys are abusing your watermelons.
Nah, bro.
I just had
We're getting
salted
really lame watermelons and
yesterday.
need salt.
I was gonna say we should cut up that other
It's not like we're
watermelon.
dunking them in salt. They're just a little bit of salt.
That's
This
disgusting.
guy
Nah,
guy
because salt brings out the
school
sweetness.
yesterday picks up a bag of 2 melons and he goes like my melons.
I did too. They were a bag of 2
Right
fucking
in
little
the
watermelons.
store.
I hold them up, look at everybody. I'm like, look at my melons, babe.
These people around us are looking at us like, what? It was so funny.
But they were perfect size. They were really perky. They were nice. They were exactly the same size too.
So funny.
I mean, I
Well,
was
hey,
perfectly
don't buy any
proportioned in that point in time.
saggy watermelons.
Yeah, did you tell them it's 2024 and they can't judge you for that anymore?
We were in Costco, and it was Sunday, so you know there were people everywhere, right? Like it was so funny.
What? I don't care what they think. I was enjoying my melons.
No,
You gotta
it
just
was
start
great.
randomly saying fuck now and say you have Tourette's. Like, recover.
There is no recovering. I don't need to recover.
No.
I don't care what their opinions are. I don't care.
It was so good. That's so funny.
But salted
The
watermelon.
kids thought it was the funniest thing in the world. They got a kick out of it. They kept saying it over. You like my melons? Like over.
All right. All right, everybody. Now that we've established that mustard absolutely sucks dick and barbecue sauce is
No.
superior, let's jump into
No,
some
we didn't
final
establish
thoughts.
that.
No.
Fake news.
What about
Let's jump into some final thoughts on what we've discussed today. We discussed some city building games. We've discussed some zombie games. We've discussed some Ice Age games. Right? We've discussed a VR social game. What is everybody's thoughts on all of these? And if these games actually were to come to fruition, I mean,
I would play them.
which
Also-
one would be your favorite?
the zombie one?
The one I picked.
All of them. I don't know. That's hard.
Well, you can't
Because-
pick all
well,
favorite.
we've
I
all
know.
we've all
Pop out
established.
No, you gotta know life one game forever.
Yeah, you have to
One
know
game?
life one game. Which one are you no lifing?
Probably the zombie game because it's like Fallout.
I played my game, probably Michael's too, actually, because the
Yeah.
freedom. I like the freedom aspect, like the sandboxy type games, anyways.
That too. I like that too.
Well, you know, my game has that
ability to
too.
build and
She just
create
came on
things on
over.
your own.
I don't like zombies.
Boy, that's a good thing about this game.
I totally brown person the shit out of games. I don't play those fucking scary games.
Brown person.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm like, dude, I brown person those games, man. I'm like, yeah. Us colored people don't exactly do well with
My
horror
God.
because you end up getting killed the first horror movies. You know,
Okay. I
and
guess.
if there's not a black person, it's a brown person that's killed first. Oh,
That's horrible. I always
Well-
thought I thought it was the girl, the dumb blonde girl. She was always the one that died first. in
it's
horror
because there wasn't a
movies.
black guy in that movie.
All right. So now,
He's right.
if you could combine any two of these games together, what two games would you combine together in No Life?
Mike's and the zombie ones.
I think the zombie plus the historical one would be interesting. If you put
Well, how would
zombies
that
in, like,
work?
different time.
Fucking Ice Age zombies.
Dude, that'd be
Yeah.
sketch as fuck. Like hell no.
Zombie monster.
You have like a
zombie
rock to throw at them.
animals. What if a freaking mammoth turned into a zombie mammoth?
I think I would combine my game and IO's game together because I like the VR function.
Zombie freaking saber tooth in the wilderness, man.
Yeah, that'd be pretty freaky. That'd be cool. I'd probably do that. I would never fucking play it, but it'd be cool to see.
A zombie
Be
saber
terrifying.
tooth, dude.
Yeah,
Right.
You'd
I
be
like
one of
'cause-
those guys watching a Twitch streamer play it.
Yeah, dude. I see. I like watching horror games because it's not immersive for me. Because I like horror movies, but I hate fucking playing them. They're awful.
IO
Yeah.
says that he would combine my game and KTM's game.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
Zombies and world building.
He said, but he would want it to be livable and not pure apocalypse.
Damn it.
That's fair. Maybe like
So like zombies are on the outskirts of your town rather than inside.
Oh, that would be kind of. Well, wait. Yeah.
Cool.
It'd be kind of like Walking Dead in that way. You know, like you have this town, like it's all protected.
Like settlement type thing that you can live inside
Yeah.
of and like
But they could
build up
attack
and
it
do
and
whatever.
destroy
Or just a giant city though. Get some.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Or like I don't know if you've seen like the Army of the Dead where they walled every zombie inside Las Vegas.
I watched that movie. It was crazy.
Oh, with Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
That's a good.
So it'd be like that, but different or like reverse.
Yeah.
You'd be walled inside the city while they're all out there.
Oh my god. Screw
Or
that.
like, could you imagine Ark with zombies? Now that's a game.
Like with the dinosaurs and everything, like a
yeah.
zombie T-Rex.
Fucking
Uh-huh.
zombie
Oh my
dinosaurs.
god. Zombie
And-
pterodactyl. Like
They're already
giant,
sketch enough.
fucked up
Imagine
things.
like a raptor. I mean, it's already blood enough.
Speaking of dinosaurs, guys, it
bloodthirsty.
sounds like we're kind of falling off this one. So we're going to wrap it up here.
What's your beef with dinosaurs?
Be with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Well, I think we fell off one here, guys.
feels
So
like
I
one.
think we're going to wrap it up here, though. Thanks for listening to the In My Opinion podcast. Music by Pertrix, written and produced by the Phantom Rift podcast team. And we'll see you next time. And don't be afraid to jump into the rift.
Do it.
Thanks again for listening to the In My Opinion podcast, written and produced by the Phantom Rift podcast team. If you're interested in finding more content from us, anything about us, socials, you can stop by our website at thephantomrift.com. That is thephantomrift.com. There you can find our socials. You can find access to our email where you can send us suggestions. Just say hi, share your stories, or whatever it is that you feel like saying to us. You can also find where to find our podcasts, whether it be Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple, or iHeart. We have it all there just for you in one easy place. So, if you enjoyed our podcast, if you enjoyed our content, please leave us a comment, leave us a like, leave us a nice review or a bad review on either of those podcasting platforms or wherever you may get your podcast. We'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. And again, don't be afraid to jump into the rift.